Hi Gators, Mrs. Collins here. It's Tuesday and we are still celebrating our parents this week and appreciating all they are doing. This book, Harriet, You'll Drive Me Wild by Mem Fox and illustrated by Marla Frazee, might be something that moms are feeling right now after having you guys home from school for this long. Let's find out. Harriet Harris was a pesky child. She didn't mean to be. She just was. One morning at breakfast, she knocked over a glass of juice just like that. Do you see how she's sitting in that chair? Do you ever sit like that? Her mother didn't like to yell. Let's see, how am I going to arrange this here? There we go. So instead, she said, "Harriet, my darling child." "I'm sorry," said Harriet, and she was. At snack time, she dribbled jam all over her jeans, just like that. Her mother didn't like to yell, so instead she said, "Harriet, my darling child." "Harriet, you'll drive me wild." "I'm sorry," said Harriet, and she was. Before lunch, when Harriet was painting a picture, she dripped paint onto the carpet, just like that. Her mother didn't like to yell, so instead she said, "Harriet, my darling child." "Harriet, you'll drive me wild." "Harriet, sweetheart, what are we to do?" "I'm sorry," said Harriet, and she was. At lunch, Harriet slid off her chair and the tablecloth came with her, just like that. And her mother didn't like to yell. Instead, she said, "Harriet, my darling child." "Harriet, you'll drive me wild." "Harriet, sweetheart, what are we to do?" "Harriet Harris, I'm talking to you." "I'm sorry," said Harriet, and she was. Later that afternoon, when Harriet was meant to be napping, she ripped open a pillow, just like that. 1,000 feathers flew in every direction. There was a terrible silence. Uh-oh. Then Harriet's mother began to yell. She yelled and yelled and yelled. "I'm sorry," Harriet cried. "I'm really, really sorry." Her mother took a deep breath. "I know you are," she said, hugging Harriet tight. "I'm sorry, too. I shouldn't have yelled, and I wish I hadn't. But sometimes it happens just like that." "Big mess," said Harriet. "A very big mess," said her mother. And she started to laugh. And they laughed and went on laughing as they picked up the feathers together. The end. Are you Harriet sometimes and you drive your mother wild? I hope not. I hope you guys are good little gators and you follow all the rules and you're helpful at home and you're doing all your work and you're reading and being awesome to your moms and your dads and your grandparents and your step-parents and your caregivers, because they're working really hard and we appreciate them. Thanks for all you do. Thanks for tuning in. I miss you, gators. Be well. Bye.